Just got to Watauga County up here in North Carolina. We're going to be doing some fishing today, and we're going to be talking about nymphing lines and why I like this nymphing line. A little bit later, just for context, it is a stretch core. The core has some calculated stretch, and it makes it super nice when you're fishing 8X. But more review. Just stuck the first fish of the morning out of this little fast pocket. I was actually getting ready to go down and mess with some ducks down there and just quack at them. No, I'll do that on video. I like ducks, but you know, I was figuring they'd be more right there, not so much in this faster water, but buddy here was in the fast water. I'll get some more video of him here in just a second once I get him on hook. Just got the old girl hooked. Let's see what she goes for. She's going about 3.5 on the McLean, so she's not a bad fish. I'm saying she's probably 18 to 20. But we'll find out here in just a hot second. Get her out of here. Just keep her in the water, let her stay as calm as she can for a minute. $20 by what? 20 by cold, that's what? 20 by 12. So yeah, about 3-pound fish. She's not super girthy, but she is long. She is 20. Let's get her out of the net and look at her a little bit and put her back. This water's cold. Oh, I love fishing this stream in the winter. But, you know, nice little 20-inch hen. Healthy little girl. Love this stream. There's a lot of fish in this stream like that. This time of year, come about October, there are some browns about like that size in this stream here in Watauga County, but I ain't gonna name the stream. I love this stream a little bit too much to name it, but it is a nice stream. Well, where'd my flies go? Old girl took this. She took a nice little orange egg with a 3/8 copper bead on a size 14. I am fishing 7 this morning. It is winter. Drop rate matters. You gotta get down to them quick. I could do it on 6, but I'd have to have more weight, and I just rather have quick drop with light flies and not spook fish. I'm hoping there's some more fish here in this run. So I scooted on down a little ways down into this deeper section, and there was a nice little wild rainbow here. Again, orange egg, but not really sure. There should be more fish, and I'm gonna keep fishing this for a few minutes and change flies a couple times and just see what I can get. But nonetheless, a nice little wild fish. Back home he goes. Don't tell anyone, buddy. Just found a pocket of fish here in this log jam as always. There are a couple big fish tucked in it, but it's just a lot of pick and choose. But the big fish are they're in a pitsy little situation right in front of the log, but there's no underwater structure. It's just the log sits on top of the water. So it's just a matter of me rolling my flies right and getting in their feeding lane. But there's probably 10, 12 fish in this hole with the dink. Couple casts later, I just found this one. It's sitting there. Wasn't really the one I'm targeting. There's a much bigger one, but I'll take this little 16, 17 all day. He was a little spicy. He wanted to run. He took me down the hole about 25, 30 foot, which is kind of nice. It allowed me not to spook the big boy. I'm going to get him on hooked and get some more video of him. Got this little chunky man on hooked. Finally, he didn't really want to play a little bit there, but hey, come on, buddy. It's the guy to the count. I mean, he's 16. Nothing super special, but there are a lot of fish, 16, 20 in this river in the winter, and I absolutely love this little headwater because of it. See if we can't get some more. We found another little spicy little dink sitting in this log jam. All the wild fish I've pulled out of this log jam have been on a thread Frenchie with a silver bead and a little bit of UV shrimp pink dubbing. Just made the change to a stonefly. Figured, still have my weight, but have something a little more natural. They're being a little spooky with that egg, so I figured I'd go with a little more natural, and I was rewarded very first cast with a little brown that was a little feisty, but they're still sitting in there pretty tight. Let's see if I can't roll one just perfectly. Well, I got the drift sort of right and picked up another little brown. This one came on the silver bullet or the thread Frenchie. I'm really not sure. They're almost identical. Only difference is olive wire versus silver wire on them. But unfortunately, my net decided to pop loose, so I gotta finagle and fix this. Buddy ate that stonefly, and I'm pretty sure this is the one I caught earlier. If it's the same one, that is absolutely hilarious. She ate the stonefly. Yeah, I'm almost positive this is the same fish from earlier, because it's got the same weird tail fork, but it just tells me I did have it right with that stonefly, and I may stick with it over an egg for a little bit. But I just find it hilarious that she's sitting there. I see her moving back up to where I hooked her, but I hooked her down a little bit lower, and she scooted up here with the other fish, and I guess she was still hungry. Didn't learn her lesson about the egg. That just goes to show you how some of these fish are just, they're not the brightest. And also it doesn't help that a lot of these fish are running up to spawn, which that should be kicking off here in like, I don't know, it's what, the 9th. Should start around Valentine's Day, a little bit lower. Up here, higher elevation, it should kick off in about 3 weeks, around late February. And then into March, and then into April, and then it'll be over with pretty quickly. But there are some bigger fish in this hole. Hopefully they'll eat. Hey, look, there's a mink that just went up the bank. Hey, fish killer. Getting ready to hit a section of very shallow water, and I really don't want to re-rig, and that's why I have this. It's called Scafaras. I have 3 colors of it. I have white, pink, and chartreuse. Today, and it being winter, I'm probably going to run the white. I just can see it better, and I can see the other colors. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to do it right now, but I'm going to paint this on my leader. So here's my leader, my little tippet. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to rub this up and down my leader and give myself a cider for the shallow water that I can just rub off once I get back to deep water. That's why I really like this Scafaras wax. It's real easy, put on, take off. Great when you're getting ready to hit shallow water. Guys, it may be February, the browns may be off the reds, and the rainbows aren't on the reds yet, but it's still imperative we watch where we step. We don't want to be stepping on these reds. That's future generations of fish we'll lose for our other generations of anglers and sportsmen to enjoy. Come up river about 200 yards and found this little guy tucked over there in the bank. Little spotless boy, but probably gonna switch streams. This one's I'm either gonna go downriver or I'm gonna just switch streams completely. It's just getting really just not the best of what I want right now. Just came up river around the bend. Found this little guy. He ate a squirmy on the first cast in the hole. There's usually a good number of fish tucked in the hole, but Buddy here is pretty spotless. It could be from the high water we've had, and it could just be he's one of the spotless variety. But I'm gonna see if I can't sneak a few more out of this hole. Found this real wild brown real quick, still in that same hole. Second one out. Should be a few more tucked in there, hopefully. Let's find out. Very next cast, and we have us another little wild brown out of that hole. Same thing though, squirmy worm right out of the hole. He's the third one today. A little bit nicer wild brown tucked in there. Again, Buddy took the squiggly and the more classic San Juan red that they finally re-released through Spirit River. There for a while, I really didn't care for the super bright red, but this pinkish red, it's money. But they're stacked in there good. So took the 4th one out of that slot. Let's see if I can pull 1 or 2 more out. Fortunately, this is just a reality of fishing with these Spirit River squirmies is you set a little too early. That's a big problem with the Contact 2 and the Hardy Ultra. I set too early because I can actually feel them mouthing it. And I just instinctively smack them. It's one thing I do like about a P2 is I don't do this as often. So I'm going to switch up to egg and see if I can't pull 1 or 2 more out. I managed to snake another one out. Nice little brown, but he didn't take the egg of all things I just put on. He took the little thread Frenchie with a silver bead. But there's still quite a few in there. We'll see if I can't snake 1 more out before I leave. So this is like the 6th little fish I pulled out of here. I'm just curious now how many are stacked up. There's a little rainbow. He's been caught before. He had a nice little lip deformity, but I can still see several but it's like 6. I may see if they're still active. If not, I'm gonna go ahead and bounce. They're still feeding in this hole. I did land a little rainbow, and I didn't care enough to show him off, but I did bounce one before him, and this is the 8th fish I've landed out of this hole. It's another little brown. Little buddy took the egg, but 8 fish out of this hole to the hand is pretty impressive, especially considering it's only the 9th of February. They're stacked in here like always. The fitting of a 9th fish for the hole, I stuck a studly little wild rainbow, but I feel like there's plenty of stacked in here, and I should probably leave them alone, but I'm gonna see if I can't make it 10 fish to net out of this hole before I call it. 10 out of this one little run. Popped a little silvery rainbow that's gonna shoot down river, but 10 fish, one hole in about 15-20 minutes. It's not bad. That's some good work, especially for wild fish. They're real happy in this hole, and I don't know why they stack in this hole, but I love what they do. This is number 11 out of this hole. I don't know, man. This is fun, but I don't know what I'm gonna do, you know. Don't know if I want to see if I can't make it 12 to net or what. Let's see if I can't make it 12 before I leave. Well, I done it. 12 fish in about 20 minutes out of one hole. So at this point, I'm gonna head on back to the STI, get my waders off, move downriver, and see if I can't get on some more big fish, because I've only been at this for, well, it's now 11:21, and I got here at 9:30 and got on the water at like 9:45, and I'm at 21 fish with that one. So time to go hunt some real pigs now. Made it back to the STI. It's time to go downriver. But first I'm gonna stop at the fly shop that's on the way to the next section. See if they even recommend fishing it right now, because I know there's a beaver dam, so I figure it's deep as shit again. Not fishable. Just got done with lunch and picked up this little wild fish. This first little hole I'm fishing. There's not a whole lot in this stretch. There's like 2 good holes. So I'm just gonna hit them and get out of here and go somewhere else. Fortunately, the hole I really wanted was taken. There was a vehicle parked there. I didn't see anyone fishing it, but you really couldn't get in with my car. So I'm just gonna kind of meander about and see what else I can get into. This little wild brown, my buddy. He's sitting right in that same hole. So here's what it is. But it's not a bad day. So it's February, and that's a new red, and I've seen several more new reds that weren't here a couple weeks ago when I was up here, and I'm seeing significantly less of the big fish I'm after today. So what's going on is, unfortunately, these fish have already spawned out, and it's only early February. So what I've caught was a little on the skinny side and was a little beat up. That tells me they've already spawned and it's over with for the year, unfortunately. So I'm probably gonna go and focus on some tailwaters, but yeah, I got a couple big headwater fish this fall into this winter. You know, not as many as normal, but I'm not. Thanks for tuning along, boys and girls. Unfortunately, it just looks like this year they spawned a little early. You know, it's February. You know, normally they spawn, say, around March up here. And a lot of the other headwaters I fish, it's March, but there's a fundamental lack of fish. The couple I did catch were a little on the beat up side, so the fact that I just saw a giant red and I'm seeing more giant reds along the river just tells me that the fish I'm after, they've spawned, they've done their business, and they've gone back down the river into big water, which, yeah, is what it is. A little early this year. I think a lot of it was to do with the low water, but here's what it is, and stay tuned for the next trip.